King's vision, his unfinished dream, speaks to the work that must continue. We made progress in the fight for racial justice, but there's still much work that must be done. We must continue to use our voices, our power, our actions to create a more just and equitable society for all people. Collectively, we must use our voices. We have to use our power. We have to educate ourselves and others about the history of racism and discrimination. We have to speak out against racism and discrimination wherever we see it, whenever we see it. We have to support organizations that are working to fight racism and discrimination. We have to get involved in our communities. Dr. King's dream is unfinished, but we can make it a reality if we work together. We are better together. Show up for us. Join us. Help us show out. We're better together.
Dream unfinished, not a commemoration, but a continuation. Now, what that means to me is a luta continua, that we need to continue this struggle. One of the quotes that comes to mind is what Dr. King said at the commencement of Morehouse, actually in 1959, before the March on Washington. He says, the great challenge is to remain awake, alert, and creative through this great revolution. He noted that the great question facing us today is whether we will remain awake through this world-shaking revolution and achieve the new mental attitudes which the situations and conditions demand. And I bring that here today because we are in a time when there are people who are anti-woke. They want us to forget about the dream. They want us to forget about the struggles that so many of our ancestors have made and sacrifices they have given in order for us to take advantage of the opportunities of this day. So it means that we need to wake up and really begin to model the new mindsets and the behaviors of a people who are free, who are competent, capable, and ready to enjoy the abundance on this earth and not be treated as second-class citizens. So that's what that quote means to me today.
So gentlemen, tell me, what are we going to do? The National Black MBA Association, Seattle chapter, what are we going to do to continue MLK's dream?
For the continuation, we have to continue to educate ourselves. We have to continue to speak out against racial discrimination whenever and wherever we find it. We have to continue to support organizations that are working to fight racism, and we have to vote for candidates who support racial justice.
So one of the main elements or reasons for the founding of the chapter, the National Black MBA Association is committed to using the intellectual capital of Black people to advance our lives. So we are committed to helping each of us accept our personal power to change and create the results in this life that we want.
Ooh, I love that. So we're doing some work around mindset. We've been focused on changing the world, changing our community by changing ourselves. Why is mindset so important?
Well, self-mastery, that is our number one job. I don't have the power to change other people. But when I change, people respond to the change that happens in me. So when I accept my journey of self-mastery to relate better with Dr. Carter, with Tracy, with corporate partners, with children, that has a ripple effect. So we can model the responsibility and the behavior, and that will have a positive impact on others.
I am so excited and so proud to be a part of an organization that was founded 52 years ago based on economic and intellectual empowerment and that's focused on changing things right now. Dr. James Carter, tell us, why is it so important that we do this work right now? And what are we going to do to continue the change?
So what we want to do is we want to engage the community and to help them strive to live powerfully. Help them take their lives, help them take their careers, and help them take their businesses to the next level. If we're truly better together, we have to come together as one. We have to strive towards a common goal. And that common goal should be not only the betterment of ourselves and each other, but for our community. So it's one of the reasons why living powerfully is really important. It's one of the reasons why working together, being better together, is something that we have to continue.
How hopeful are the two of you that we can drive change? Obama's book, The Audacity of Hope, is one of my favorites, but I'm hopeful. Let's talk about that for people who may be feeling like we've gone backwards. Let's talk about the hope and the possibility of what we can do together.
We can live the dream true, and we can receive answered prayer. That is what we are today. There are others who attempt to make us think otherwise, but we are answered prayers, and we can be answered prayers to others by, as Dr. Carter says, working together. I went to USC undergrad, and we had our Black magazine. It was called All Us We. That's how we do it.
I love that. Dr. Carter.
Change occurs whether we want it or not. And unfortunately, sometimes as much as things change, the powers that be will find a way to make things stay just the same. We have to work on ourselves. We have to continue to put in. We have to continue to give. And not just to ourselves, not just to our friends, not just to our families, but to our community, to people who come into the community. We have to pay forward. We have to give back. And we have to be the catalyst for change. Because if we're not, it's not going to happen. Change is not going to happen accidentally. It's not going to happen because we wish it'll happen. We got to get up out of our chairs, use our voices, stump our feet, press the voting levers, and make the change that we want to see. And that's how we get better together. I have to encourage you to do more. You have to encourage me to do more. I have to encourage you the direction that we need to be in together. And that happens if we're working together because we're better together.
Why should people join us?
Our life is made to order. They should join us because we all together can really bring in a better society. We can live a higher quality of life and solve the problems that we face today when we use our faith and strength and creativity and love with wisdom to work together and to create better communities, or this beloved community that Dr. King talked about. We can have that, but we have to work for it with every thought, word, feeling, and deed. Join us for a better life. Join us to make a better community, this beloved community. Join us because our destinies are connected. Join us in this pursuit of happiness. Join us in receiving all of our rights right now in this lifetime.
Join us. We are better together. Show up and help us show out.